Is it recording? Yes! I messed up the music for a bit. Hi guys! So apparently today is yet another day of vlogging. I'm actually not sure I'm gonna do anything really exciting today, but I'm probably gonna go out. I need to buy a few books. Basically, well, I don't really know if I need to, but you know, the competitive exam that I attended or that I tried to pass this year, it's actually a yearly thing. And you need this exam to become a teacher and in France, and to become like a teacher that could teach in a uni or after high school, basically. You also kind of need it if you want to do a PhD, which is paid by the university. So that's kind of like my goal. It was really hard this year, it was really difficult, it was my first time. There were many things I didn't know, many things I probably did wrong studying and planning and everything. And even though I don't know the results yet, the new program, like the list of books that's gonna be on the exam for next year, um, is out. So I am going to pick up a few books, just a few, maybe 2 or 3, because otherwise it's super expensive. Like, that's also something people don't really take into consideration, but like buying the book themselves, buying then other books about the books themselves, it's like the budget can really get super high. Even just like all the books by themselves, it's probably, you know, between 50 and 100 euros. Because one of the book is actually expensive, and then you have about 11 or 12 of the books to buy, so that goes really quickly, you know. Anyway, so I am going to go out to buy these books. This morning I filmed a video in French, and now basically what I'm going to do is write the postcards for my Patreon. So if you don't know, if you're on Patreon and you support very, very, very generously the channel with like $20 a month, I am sending you a postcard. So I'm going to do this right now, write those, and I'll see you soon. Okay guys, so I'm about to leave. I am, as I told you, going to buy a few books. So I did write all of the letters for the Patreons, and actually it's like 10 letters. So personally, I do really enjoy writing to people. When I'm traveling, I always write to my parents and my really close friends. I just find it very lovely. I know it's something that a lot of people don't really do nowadays with the internet and everything, but I just find it really nice. I like it. So I'm going to buy these books that I told you about. I'm also meeting up with Seb. He's quickly going to you know, buy those books with me, but he's really busy, so it's not gonna last a long time. And after that, maybe I'm just gonna walk around, because the bookshop, sorry, because in French bookshop is librairie, which really sounds like library, but anyway, the bookshop is close to Notre Dame, so I think I'm going to just walk around a little bit to show you guys, because you always ask me about, you know, places in Paris and stuff. And to be fair, I know that in a lot of my videos I show you like beautiful places of Paris and like famous places, but it's also because, quite frankly, most of the places in Paris are famous. Like in almost every neighborhood or like arrondissement that you go to, there is almost like a building, a monument, an area that's more or less obviously famous. So everything is not the Eiffel Tower, but what I'm saying is you have landmarks and monuments and everything quite, you know, a lot in the city, so that's pretty cool. I'm also really hungry because I haven't had really food. I had one apple and pancake this morning. I'm probably gonna just take a banana with me on the go. I took a medicine this morning because I was feeling really bad, like my head started to hurt quite a bit, and it's been about 3 days where I just haven't felt really good head-wise, and the medicine is starting to work, so I'm feeling to be like relaxed, and I shouldn't because I'm gonna be late. So anyway, I'm leaving now.
It was always on fire, our house, our dreams. We were dancing on a wire.
So this is typical Paris weather. You have some blue in the sky, but it's raining a little bit. Oh well. And this you've probably seen a lot in my videos because it's a place I really like. It's called Le Canal Saint-Martin, and all along you have bars and cafes, and it's just a really nice walk.
Strong. Oh, I never felt like this before. When I was trapped, you showed an open door. Living in a dark, clouded haze, we danced, we fought. We were bound to make mistakes, real love, we thought. But it was always on fire, our house.
Okay, so this is obviously Notre Dame, as you can probably tell. One of the most beautiful landmarks in Paris, if you ask me. It's so intricate and lots of details, and the entrance is free, so it's pretty cool. And then you have this little gardeny thing behind.
When I was trapped, you showed an open door. I had no reason to complain. I didn't have the words to explain.
So, I just came back home. I'm gonna take a shower because I feel just, is it just me, or like the first days of the sun, no, the first days that are sunny, usually when I go out, I feel kind of dirty, as if the sun was dusty. So I don't know if it's just me, but that's how I feel. It's not sweat or anything, it's just really the sensation of the sun being dusty. That's kind of strange. Anyway, so I walked a little bit. I'm feeling really exhausted, not because of the walk, because I can walk a lot, but just because going out is exhausting to me when there are people outside, and there were a lot of people because it's Paris, it's a Saturday, and it's starting to get sunny and warm, so people are all about, you know, exploring Paris, which I understand, and it's fine. But yeah, it's exhausting to me, and also it's sunny and it's warm and there is a lot of light. Basically there is like a lot of stimulation, so it feels very nice to be back home with no sound, nothing, just the peacefulness of being home. So yeah, I bought a few books, the books I needed to buy. Also received one today. Oh, I received two today. Yeah, okay, so I bought these little books. The literary history of the 18th and the 17th century. Just because, you know, those are not necessarily centuries I'm really into. And I kind of want to brush it off. Obviously, this is not like, it's just to get an overview, a quick overview, but I think it's really helpful to help you contextualize everything. I got the books, some of the books I wanted at the bookshop, but a lot of them were not available. So I actually got 2 plays by Shakespeare. They're not the ones that are gonna be on the exam next year, but I thought, you know, because they always require you to have like read a few books by the author. So I got Hamlet and King Lear, I think the original title is. So sorry to disappoint many. I think I actually do not like Shakespeare, which is a bit strange because, you know, I just love Flaubert so much, and Flaubert really loved Shakespeare. So I always find it funny how you can love some people's work, yet their inspiration or the ones they really enjoy themselves you don't find very interesting. Then I got 3 plays by Marivaux. I'm not a big fan of plays usually, and I'm not a big fan of the 17th century, but Marivaux is alright. I actually think a lot of you could enjoy it if you don't know. And this one by Simone de Beauvoir, whom you may probably know. I actually had 2 books by her, but I didn't have the one on the list for the exam. It's called Mémoire d'une jeune fille rangée. I'm not sure how it's translated, but it's basically kind of like an autobiography. So yeah, that's I've started reading this in the metro. So yeah, I'm gonna shower. I'm really tired actually. I don't know if you're gonna see much of me after that. Maybe I'm just gonna film what I'm gonna eat. Alright. I won't focus. So guys, I don't know if you can actually see, but I'm having some trouble at the moment with my skin. So first thing first, my skin is super dry. Well, this part has no light, so you can't really see. But my skin is extremely dry. So dry that sometimes when I rub it, there is like dry skin. Or even when I wake up in this area especially and around my mouth, it's super dry. Like when you go in the sun, you know, that kind of skin texture is what I have. Obviously, it's not really pleasant. But lately I've had, as I'm trying to show you, but I don't think you can actually see, I have usually around my cheek area, it's super red. And I have those really small sort of like, it's not even pimples really, but those red dots thingy. And yeah, it's fucking annoying. And also I have those real embarrassing moments where I blush and I can't control it. It's like a wave of heat that's super intense, and I can sense that my skin is getting super red. Usually happens when there's a change in temperature. Let's say I'm outside and suddenly I get into the metro, or it happens a lot when I'm in a room that's closed. Like if the windows are open, I feel much better. I don't know if I feel like it's surely psychological in a way as well, but yeah. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna edit a video. Yeah, I kind of want to relax though, but I feel like I should be editing. Recently I've had a lot of thoughts because well, you know guys that I moved about, I don't really remember, I think in July or June. In July it's gonna be a year. You know, I used to love my old apartment, my flat. I felt so good there. I loved the neighborhood. I really loved the neighborhood. That was the most important thing, I think, actually. Looking back, it's not even the flat itself, even though I did enjoy it in a way because the bathroom was really big. It was light. It was there were big windows, which I liked, but there were also like downsides to it. It was super cool during winter, super hot during summer. It was super noisy. The neighbors were all sorts of crazy. So yeah, there were definitely bad things about it. There was no intimacy whatsoever because the room was not a real room. But I love the neighborhood, and where I live now is very different, even though it's not that far away. And I don't like the neighborhood. I just really don't. Kind of far away from the metro station, even though I like the flat. I actually like the flat. But because I just don't like the neighborhood at all, and I miss my old neighborhood so much. You know, it's funny, I think a lot of people think it's like a light topic, it's nothing too serious, but for example, I can't even go back to my old neighborhood, and when I take the metro, I always avoid taking the same line because it makes me feel so sad when I see the metro station I used to get off at when I was living in my old apartment. I'm someone who's really nostalgic super easily, and I get super emotionally attached to places, things, people, so. And the old flat is just a mixture of different things, you know, it's when I was younger, it's when my life was better. In some ways, I was exercising, I was running, I was being more creative, I had more time for myself. There was my sister, it was also where I used to live with Seb. So it's like a lot of good memories in that place. I guess I was just a better me, I was a happier me at that time. But I also feel like it had to do with the neighborhood, the proximity with everything, just feeling so comfortable in this area. You know, there were times where I actually, when I would go back home at night, I would think, walking down the street to my apartment, I'm so grateful for that moment. I'm so grateful to live here. I'm so grateful for all the amazing things around here. I never feel that way when I come back now home. But I like the flat. And just because I don't like the neighborhood, just because I keep thinking of my old neighborhood and stuff, I haven't been decorating this flat very much. I was supposed to buy plants, I was supposed to buy different things to make it feel like home, but I haven't done anything of that yet because I don't feel happy. Honestly, since December actually, I've been feeling very down. I haven't been talking about it online very much at all because I haven't been talking about it anywhere actually, I think. I've been trying to find a way to go back to my therapist, but it's super expensive. And I just can't afford it at the moment. I just really can't. And the only way in France to get to see a therapist and to have it on your like health insurance thing would be to see a psychiatrist, and I don't feel very comfortable because I don't think it's what I want, and I just don't want to see a new doctor. I really like my therapist, so my psychologist, but I've been feeling very down. Not down like I used to, actually, more of a subtle, yeah, very subtle, almost unnoticeable sort of down where it's just there are moments when I feel good and I'm like, oh gosh, that's how it's supposed to be. Obviously, everyone has their days where they don't feel very good and where they're a bit stressed, worried, under the weather, whatever. But for me, it's like almost every day. Yeah, it's. I feel like some entity, whether it's work, the competitive exam, everything put together. I feel like my life is being stolen away from me, taken away from me, and I feel like my energy, my everything about me is being sucked out of myself, if that makes any sense. I feel like I have no purpose anymore. I feel very worthless. And it's all, you know, combining into this thing where I'm not taking any decision, I'm not doing anything for myself. So I've been thinking of moving out a lot. But it's super difficult in Paris. You need a super good like salary and different things, and I don't have any of those, so it's very difficult. So actually I've been thinking maybe I should take some time and invest a bit of money in making this place more like better for myself, like change a bit of the furniture, like move them around, tidy up a little bit, because a lot of the things are not even like, I have suitcases and I have boxes with things untouched after the moving out. So I think this is something I need to do for myself. Maybe declutter even some things because I have a lot of stuff. So maybe it's gonna be in another vlog. But yeah, I actually wasn't planning on talking about this, but yeah. Life. You know, so many things I want and I need to do. I feel like being more creative is the one thing. Being more me. I just want to be able to find the beauty I used to find everywhere. I just want to be able to feel things, and I just want to be able to write and create. But like when you're working all the time, when you're studying all the time, even when you have this day off, you're so exhausted and you're so drained from energy, from inspiration, and from creativity that you don't want to write anything. And I keep seeing people having book deals so easily, or I keep seeing people getting book deals when they're writing YA or about specific things, and I'm like, it's really difficult to navigate this thing where you think you're good at something, but at the same time, it seems like it's not really true because it's not getting you anywhere. But I also recognize that I'm my worst enemy in the sense of I don't make it possible for me to feel inspired, to write, to know people, to send my writings to others and stuff. But you need to feel a little bit confident. You need to feel a little bit happy to do those things. I just don't. I just have no motivation and no energy to even write. I keep thinking. I keep writing in my head, if that makes any sense. Anyway, I'm gonna stop because it's super long. I'm gonna edit the video. Okay, so I'm going to have dinner. It's about 6 p.m., which is super early. In France, usually we have dinner around 8 p.m. But I'm just feeling really tired and really hungry. And as always, I'm craving some lettuce, so it's actually a lot. But that's fine. I wish I could eat double as much, but twice as much, but that's fine. And I'm gonna have it with some gnocchi, and I'm gonna pair it with some mustard. It's a really funky mustard, but yeah. So vegan gnocchi, very simple, very basic, nothing much, and the lettuce. Yeah. Okay guys, so I think it's gonna be the end of today's vlog. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I think it was a bit all over the place, but you know. So I'm gonna eat that. I'm probably gonna drink a lot after that. I feel really thirsty, so I'm gonna drink a lot, probably have some applesauce as a dessert, and yeah. Hopefully you enjoy watching this video. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend or wonderful day whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you soon. Bye!